Imagine you're sitting across from someone you deeply care about. The relationship is full of love, laughter, shared dreams, and mutual support. But there is this nagging issue. Whenever things go wrong, whenever there is a misstep, you never hear a simple "I was wrong" or "I made a mistake." Instead, the blame shifts and the silence grows heavy. In fact, it can feel like no matter what happens, they can do no wrong. It's a curious situation, isn't it? You might find yourself wondering, why is this happening? Is it me? Is it just the way they are, or is it something deeper at play? Well, my friend, there is something you need to understand. When a partner avoids admitting mistakes or faults, they may not just be trying to avoid uncomfortable conversations. They could be avoiding something far more significant: accountability. Now, you might think, what's the big deal? Isn't it normal for people to avoid conflict or tough conversations? Well, yes, but here is the catch. Accountability is the cornerstone of any healthy relationship. Without it, trust erodes. Without it, respect falters. And without it, communication becomes a minefield. So, let's dive into the reasons why someone might avoid accountability and why this behavior could be more harmful than you think. Stick with me here. This isn't just about a partner's behavior, it's about understanding what makes people tick, how to build stronger relationships, and ultimately, how to live a life where honesty and growth are central. Let's start with the basics. No one wants to feel like they failed, right? Everyone has an ego, and the ego is notoriously fragile. For many, admitting to mistakes or faults feels like an attack on their very identity. It's not just, oops, I spilled the coffee. It's, I am a failure. I am not good enough. And here is the thing about fear: it's a sneaky little creature. It takes something as simple as missed opportunity and turns it into something that threatens your entire sense of worth. So, when someone avoids admitting their mistakes, it's often because they're terrified of what that admission could mean about them. If they admit that they are wrong, it could feel like an irrevocable blow to their self esteem. For these individuals, avoiding accountability becomes a form of self preservation. The problem: when we consistently avoid accountability, we never grow. The shame and fear we try to escape from only intensifies. If your partner's mistakes are never addressed, never processed, and never apologized for, it's like trying to heal a wound that's always left open. Now, let's talk about something a little less obvious: control. Some people have an innate need to be in control of every situation. They believe that if they admit fault, they lose that control. Picture this: you're arguing about something and your partner refuses to admit they were wrong. It might seem like they're just being stubborn, but in reality, they might be afraid of losing their position in the relationship or their sense of power. In a partnership, accountability is not just about admitting when you are wrong, it's about mutual respect and balance. A partner who refuses to admit mistakes might fear that doing so will diminish their power and control within the dynamic. If one person is always right and the other person is always wrong, the balance of the relationship is skewed. For some, that imbalance is more comfortable than the vulnerability that comes with shared responsibility. This is where it gets dangerous. Relationships based on control are one sided. They breed resentment and can prevent the emotional growth of both parties. A lack of accountability can lead to a lack of genuine connection because the unspoken message is, I don't need to change. And when one partner never changes, the relationship can stagnate, leaving both people stuck in a cycle of frustration. Now, there is also something to be said for the emotional consequences of admitting fault. The truth is, admitting mistakes in a relationship often comes with fear of backlash. People worry about how their partner will react. Will they be hurt? Will they feel betrayed? Will they hold it against them forever? It's natural to want to avoid those tough emotions, but here's the irony: avoiding accountability doesn't protect you from the fallouts, it prolongs it. When a partner refuses to acknowledge their mistakes, they create a distance between themselves and their significant other. It's a cold, silent wall that begins to grow higher with each passing day. That emotional fallout doesn't just disappear, it festers beneath the surface, building tension and leading to even more severe issues down the line. The worst part, the partner who refuses to acknowledge their faults often ends up avoiding these tough emotions until they become insurmountable. And by then, it might be too late to repair the damage. Now, let's talk about a deeper issue that can stem from the avoidance of accountability: unaddressed patterns of behavior. If your partner never admits to mistakes, the underlying behavior can remain unchallenged. A pattern forms, whether it's gaslighting, manipulation, or even passive aggressive actions. These behaviors can perpetuate over time without correction. You know what I'm talking about? The small things that start to build up, things you've done or said that leave you questioning whether your perspective is real. If these patterns aren't acknowledged, you might start to question your own sanity. Over time, the emotional toll becomes so great that it feels impossible to see a way forward. Now, here's the painful truth: without accountability, we remain trapped in a cycle of unhealthy patterns. Our minds get clouded, our emotions get tangled, and we become less and less able to see the truth. Accountability, though, is like a light cutting through the darkness. It helps us see where things went wrong and provide the opportunity to heal and change. If you are in a relationship with someone who refuses to admit their mistakes, it's easy to feel powerless. But here's the thing: you don't have to sit in silence waiting for them to come around. You have options. You can be the catalyst for change, but only if you're willing to confront the issue with care and understanding. Start with clear communication. Share your feelings without attacking. Let your partner know how their behavior affects you, not just the relationship, but your emotional well being. Be calm but firm. Don't let the fear of their reaction stop you from saying what needs to be said. You might even want to explore what it means to practice accountability in the relationship together. Set clear expectations and mutual standards. Understand that you can't change someone, but you can model the behavior you want to see. But remember, you can't do this alone. Accountability must come from both sides for a relationship to thrive. In conclusion, a partner who never admits mistake or faults might be avoiding accountability for reasons tied to fear, control, or emotional protection. But here's the truth: avoidance of accountability erodes trust and intimacy. It stifles growth, breeds resentment, and sets a dangerous precedent in the relationship. So, let me leave you with this. What kind of relationship do you want? Do you want one built on transparency, vulnerability, and mutual respect, or one built on a foundation of fear, control, and denial? The choice is yours. But know this: accountability isn't just saying, I was wrong. It's about creating a space for growth, healing, and real connection. If your partner is unwilling to admit their mistakes, it's not just their problem, it's yours too. It's time to decide what you'll accept, what you'll tolerate, and what you're worth. Remember, my friend, you deserve a relationship where both people are committed to honesty, growth, and mutual respect. Anything less is a cycle you don't have to continue. Thank you for listening, and I do hope to see you in my next video. Bye.